Hey guys, welcome back. My previous video, or videos, I was looking at the fixed drill mode of Alpha 10 for digging tunnels or digging out bases, and I'm not sure if this, I talked about potentially breaking this off into a separate playlist. So I'm not sure if this is still in my primary playlist or if I've got a new one going, but I'll try and leave links in the description to help you find everything. But if you're just now seeing this, but in the previous videos I covered kind of that sloped digging. I covered this one at the end of the previous set. I covered this one. I think I probably added a few blocks after the video just to close in this hangar door here. It's really just an example, a sample start of a base. You'd probably want to dig it deeper and whatnot. But if you're digging into the side of the mountain, this makes a lot of sense. Just go in flat. It's by far, well, it's the easier way of doing it, I'll say. But if you're digging into the side of the mountain, you don't really need to slope down. You've already got plenty of mountain overhead, so you can just go flat in. But if you're out in the middle of a prairie somewhere and you say you want to just have an underground base out here in some flat area, that's what this video is going to talk about. And first thing you want to do and keep in mind is that bases can only be placed in north, south, east, or west directions. You can see that block is staying oriented to the cardinal directions. So same thing for the mountain. If you're going to dig in the side of the mountain, make sure you place a block. Go ahead and place your base to start with. Get some walls up so you can go flat up against it, and I kind of covered that in those earlier videos. But particularly important for doing sloped cutting. So what I want to do is just come out here, and apparently in Alpha 10, as soon as you place a base, regardless of whether or not you have defenses or anything, you're susceptible to attack. There's a pretty small percentage, but you can be attacked right away. So if you're doing this in a survival game, keep that in mind. But so basically I don't need to sink it in or anything. I'm going to move it later. I'm just going to place a core right there. And the idea is I want to build a surface here to work off of at the slope that I want to do. Sorry, my previous render just got finished. So I want to do a 22.5 degree slope. If you're doing hovercraft, we're going to be going up and down it, or SVs, or even walking. 45 is pretty steep, not really a good angle for that. So 22.5 degrees is a pretty common slope, and that's what I'm going to do here. So basically I want to build a platform, well, I guess figure out kind of how wide you want this thing to be. Might as well get it all, take it all into account. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Probably 11 wide entrance, and then a block on either side. So we'll go out to 13. And then basically we're just going to build a platform here. I'm going to enter the ground right there and go down at that same slope, but I need something to sit on to get my slope correct while I'm digging. So I am in a creative world, by the way. So let me go ahead and build this up a little bit. I'll probably speed this up, and I'll be right back. Okay. You see I built these walls up on the sides. That's so I can get my orientation correct. So I'm facing due north in this case. I, I burned up maybe 200, almost maybe 300 blocks building this thing, which is all going to get torn down later. You could do it more sparingly, but yeah, I just want to give you a good idea of what I'm doing here. Alright, so next thing, whatever driller craft you have, oops, sorry, lost my orientation there. So you want to go into fixed mode, hold shift and hit O, the O key. And if you watch right here, drill mode equals fixed. It used to be free. So toggle in and out of that by shift O. So now we're in free mode. You see we're falling a little bit. Hit fixed mode, it holds you still. And most importantly, it keeps you at whatever angle. So if I pull down on here, I talked about this in the previous video. Right down here in the corner, they just changed this today as I speak. Alpha 10.1 2517. Today is Wednesday, I think. I'm not even sure of the date, but at any rate, it used to be a number right up here. It tells you your pitch, what angle the vehicle is pitched when you have drills on the ship, and it says 26.6 or negative 26.6. This is actually a 22.5 degree slope, but you see I'm sitting flat on that, and when I'm sitting flat on flat ground, I'm sitting at 0, so I think they just have their calculation wrong. So it's 22.5 degrees, but go by that number there, whatever it says you're at. So 26.6, we want to keep an eye on that. If it starts varying much from that, you want to do a little correction, but fixed mode should work pretty well for that. So again, I'm just using this wall. Whoops, now I'm back in free mode. Alright, so fixed mode, drop all the way flat on the surface to get my, drop me back out to free mode. Magic of live recording again. Let's try this other side. Sorry, technical difficulties. Alright, we're flat up against the wall. It keeps dropping me to free mode for some reason. Let me turn the drills on. I found that sometimes that can help keep me in fixed mode. Still doing it. Let me figure out what's going on, and I'll be right back, maybe. Okay, I'm back. I think they basically broke it. One of the update notes said that when your craft dropped all the way to the ground, it wasn't cutting the engines off. And I think when they fixed that, they broke this. So in the previous videos, I used to be able to just sit flat down on the ground. I'm actually hovering mere inches above the ground, the platform now. I used to be able to just drop down flat on there, but now they're cutting the engines off, and so that drops me into free mode. Yeah, see, it cut the engines off, but it put me back in free mode. So I'm not able to use that anymore. So I'm going to try and just maintain or achieve that 26.6 degree angle just barely above the ground and see if I can do it that way. But again, I'm using this wall to get my orientation, my direction correct. So let me try that. Alright, I lifted off enough to get fixed mode enabled, and hopefully that hasn't changed my pitch. I'm still at 26.6. So I'm just going to activate the drills and start moving forward. I don't really have a plan for how deep I wanted to make this, so I'm just going to try and judge, maybe a bit deeper. Again, this is all just an example, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not in a survival game, but see if we can go a little deeper. Not sure what I hit there. It's strange to find sand or dirt down on the ground. So basically I'm this far from there. And that's plenty deep. It's just a question of yeah, appears to turn back into dirt down here. So we'll go with that depth. We'll just stop there. Just back out of here now. You move pretty slow in fixed mode, but if I go into free mode, the craft is going to try and tilt up and around, and I'll be bumping off the walls and everything else. So I'm a pretty patient guy, so I don't mind it taking a little while to get back out of here. Your mileage may vary. Alright, so I'm going to go take a look at what we did here. It's not too bad. There's a little bit of waviness in it, but I was watching the pitch the entire way down and stayed at 26.6, so I'm pretty happy with that. So we're going to slide over. Well, actually, what I would probably do at this point is set a row of blocks down here and copy and paste that multiple times across here to create a ramp, and that will let me smoothly make future passes. So we'll go ahead and do that now, and I'll speed up through this, and we'll see how that goes. So it will be a continuation of this ramp, and so I just want to let's put a block out there and work against. See if I can make this work. Go there. Just take a little short right here and copy and paste this part. I'm in God mode, so it makes it a little too easy, so let me pop back out as if I was doing this in survival. If you haven't used copy and paste a lot, you paste it one time to get this green thing, and then you position it where you want it, and then click paste again to finalize it. So that's there now, and I'll move down and paste it again. Boom. Ball downhill. So you can see it's blue right now, it's not showing your preview of the blocks. Click paste, and paste again if you're happy with the position. Right, now I'm going to copy paste the entire thing up to the side here. Or at least as much as I can grab and not go that block. And I'm not worried about these little gaps in here. I probably can't place a block there anyway. Oh yeah, there's like change my mind, we're going to go with it. So I clicked one end of the selection while I was down there, and I just dropped this window back down and click the other end once I get up here. I could have just copied this platform and pasted it multiple times down through there. That would have been a better idea. Just block out my face here. Yeah. I'm going to copy that block as well. Alright. So copy. Paste twice. And so what I do now is expand this over and grab both of those. And copy. Alright, so now, get rid of the selecting. So now I have, I'll go back into God mode and show you underground this ramp all the way across there. And that'll give me something to ride down on. Again, it looks like they've created a new bug by fixing the old bug, but hopefully I can get just a few inches above the ground and still go down through there at the right angle. Excuse me. So let me go do that a couple times. I'll speed through this and we'll see how that goes. Obviously I'm getting my direction correct again by bumping up against this wall. I'll get the slope right initially by dropping down hard on the ground, but so I'm at 26.6, but then I gotta not touch the ground or the engines will cut off and it'll drop me out of free mode. So I'm barely above the ground there. 26.6, ready to go. Back in a bit. See what I think it had to do with this transition between the sand and the rock. Once I drilled a little faster and it kind of bumped me up, so I'm going to go back up, get a position, and just come back through here. Actually, when they do, I don't know how deep you go, but yeah. I was going to say, I'm going to drill the other side, but, you know, it don't have to be as precise about everything, or anal, you know, what words you want to use, that's funny, just let me, touch the ground now. But, I'll hold the other side, so I'm trying to get a straight line across there. Alright, I don't know if you noticed or not, but the last two passes down through there, it's like I hit a glitch on the side of the wall or something that kind of kicked me around a little bit, so I had to maneuver but a little bit, so this wall may not be quite straight, but if you were going to line the interior of this, you could figure that out anyway, and once you had a wall going down here, you could run along that. You may have to use a hand drill to clean some stuff up, but primary concern right now is I'd want more height in here. I made this thing this wide, which is pretty big. Oops. Over here. So obviously you'd kind of want to rework this entrance here, but you know, the question is, do you put the hangar door out here on the flat space and then work the roof down into it, or do you try and put a hangar door down here, in which case you're going to need a lot of height. especially, you know, since this is a slope surface. You can see I've only got like a block or two to play with here currently. But it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to have your I can't do this. You know, if you're bringing a hovercraft down here, it's going to have to flatten out and then go down again to get through this door to have the surface like that. So probably best to have the hangar door either at the top or at the bottom on a flat surface, and then you worry about the slope in between. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have this, you know, halfway down your slope. So you could build an entrance at the top and make allowances, get you enough height to come out and get down in here. So I'm not going to worry too much about that, but I do want a couple of blocks of height in here for a hovercraft to get down through. Obviously that one got down through here already, but I'd like to have a little taller ceiling in here. So I'm going to back up, try and raise my height if this fixed mode will work for me, and make a couple passes back down through here to raise the height. I showed this in a previous video, but just wanted to kind of address it again in case you hadn't seen that. In fixed mode, you know, normally your hovercraft hover height right here goes up to 3.0 3 meters. In fixed mode, you can go up to 5.37. Let me back up a little bit here. But you'll fall out of fixed mode when you get near the top. Kind of, again, I'm not sure what the exact criteria are, but that's an issue. So let me get straightened up. Get small, fixed mode. Flat against the ground to get my slope correct. By the way, it's letting me do that now. A little while ago it was taking me out of fixed mode when I dropped down flat on the ground, but now it's not doing that. I have no idea why. Anyway, I mean, ever since I put the platform down through there, it's been letting me do that. So 22.6 is good. So what I'm going to do is take the height up to about 3 meters and see if I can go down through there like that. You know, it's 3 meters more, which is roughly a block or 3 blocks higher. So let me try it at this height. Back again. Since I'm no longer worried about the bottom, what I would likely do is pull these things off of here. And put them up there. It should give me a little smoother surface on the top. Right now it's cupping a little bit here and then here again. With drills all the way across there, it should make a nice flat surface on the top. I'll go ahead and run down through here again, and then I'll move over and do the rest of this, so I'll be back in a minute. Now I'm going to make one more pass through here, but I don't need a full width, and so what I'm going to do is take these two and put them over here and try and smooth out that left hand wall a bit. That way I'll get the rest of the ceiling, but also this left-hand wall. Alright, I'm back. The first couple passes through there I was at 3.16 meters. That's why you saw me trying to adjust the height. I got pretty close, but not exact. Probably close enough for government work. So this is what we have so far. Still got a little bit of a ridge in there, but not a big deal. A couple little ridges. The rest of it's fairly flat. On the ceiling, let me just get out of God mode. So there we go. Not too bad. Still have to kind of figure out what to do at the bottom. My inclination would be to, hollow this out a little bit, dig it out a little bit, and then get some flat blocks in here. Start flattening this thing off. It's gonna make me put them way up there. I could put it there probably. So I'd come somewhere in here and start defining where the floor was going to be, and that will just give me something to work off of, to flatten off the angle. All the way across here. So I'd probably have to dig some more of this out to get all the blocks in here, but and just make as much flat area as possible as I can, and that'll give the hovercraft something to ride along at this angle, and then I can start digging this out flat and go back and do the ceiling and so forth. So yeah, again, a lot tougher to do when you're not in God mode in a survival game. So I'm not in God mode now. It's tough to get all these blocks placed, but so yeah, I'd do that and replace these blocks and smooth out this transition to get flat again, and then just go from there at that point. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this one at this point, and I'll record. I'll try and do what I was just talking about, and I'll record that for the next video. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful, and if you did, leave a comment. Let me know if you'd like to see more content like this or not. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.